All right, what's going on, folks? Well, mail call came today, and we got all kinds of new parts for our little 1022 with this Guntner stock and everything on it. Some of it's cool stuff and needed stuff. Some of it's just a optical accessory, not an optic, but a visual accessory, stuff like that. So we're gonna get into it.
I'm a whiskey drinking SOB. If you don't like that, then you won't like me. I'm an outlaw. I said I'm an outlaw.
What we got here today is going to be a mag release, an extended mag release. It's going to drop down below the trigger guard and allow us to be able to get the magazines in and out easier. We've got in the middle, we've got an extended charge handle, a new flashlight, a new white light. I've got an older green light on it that has no projection whatsoever, so I found a light and we're going to try it, see if it works any better. And then a compensator slash muzzle brake. So let's go ahead and start taking this thing apart. So like I said, this is going to be kind of pretty much a how-to video on changing the charge handle, the extended mag, and then everything else is just going to be like a little bolt-on quickie action thing. So a lot of this stuff I'm going to cut out in editing, like taking the light off, taking the stock itself off, taking the, this, that, and the other off, and then I'll just basically go ahead and break it down and do the how-to for the charge handle and the how-to for the mag release. And then everything else I'll run through, put it all back together, and give you a look at what the gun looks like. All right, so one of the first things you always want to do messing with guns is we're going to take these two mags out. They're just a pair of regular old Butler Creek 25 round mags. Just got them snapped together for speedier reloads. Set them off to the side. Flip the gun over, and you want to check the chamber, make sure it's empty, and it is. So from here, I'm just going to go ahead and start taking pieces off, and I'll get back to you in just a second. All right, we got our gun here pretty much broke down to basics, and the first step that we're going to do here is we're going to do the charge handle first. I don't know if that's the proper way to do it, to charge handle first or not, but that's the way we're going to do it. So very first thing you're going to do is you've got these two little takedown pins right here that hold the trigger assembly in. We're going to go ahead and push those out. There's per se nothing to getting them out. They just kind of slide on out. But with no bench vise or block vise or nothing like that, it can be kind of a pain in the ass. Yep, slid out the other way, no problem. Alright, so there's trigger assembly all taken apart. Man, it's got oil and all kinds of crap in it. Needs to probably be cleaned. But there's trigger assembly. Later on down the road, this gun will be getting a different trigger. This is the 100% stock Ruger trigger, and it's got to have like about a 16-pound pull in it. So definitely going to get a lighter pull in it. You got a pin that runs right here that the bolt runs back and bumps. Not real sure what it's for, but it's there. I guess it's to keep the bolt from coming out once it goes past where it belongs. So anyways, that pin's got to come out, and that's another upgrade the gun will get down the road. Is this is a steel pin, and they make some that are a rubberized pin with or a steel pin with a rubber in it. Kind of quiets up the bolt a little bit, and that's definitely something in the future. Okay, we got the pin loose, and it took some muscle to get it out of there, but I was able to pop it out. So we're going to take and turn this over, push this pin all the way out. And there's our pin in the back. You're just going to slide the bolt back. There's a spot in here that you got to slide the bolt back past it, and then you should be able to, there we go. Charge handle's out. Now the bolt will just slide right out. Okay, so there we go. We're all the way empty. And of course this whole thing is filthy as hell. So here's our old charge handle. How that doesn't look like it's in bad shape. It's got a little bit of play in it. I don't know if it's supposed to. Oh, Wait, hold on. What do we got going on here? Yeah, it's got a little bit of slop in it. Everything else looks pretty good. So we're gonna get our new charge handle here, or extended charge handle. All right, there we go. There's our new charge handle. Just an extended skeletonized charge handle. With this AR frame on here, it's kind of a pain in the butt to get your fingers in there and get that charge handle on there. So we're gonna take and put our charge handle back through the hole. You can see we've got a little recess in here. I don't know if there's enough light in there for you guys to see it. A little recess in there that your charge handle goes into. And you go in like that. Pretty much just like that. Turn this around. Too much stuff on the table. And then we're gonna pull our charge handle back. Like so. And you want your charge handle to be as straight as possible. Or you're, oh hell, I just popped everything out of place. It's kind of hard to do this one-handed, but you get the gist of it. You want your charge handle in as straight as possible, so when you put your bolt in, it'll all fall into place. There we go. Now we're all into place, I think. There. Everything lined up. Charge handle's in place. So, pretty simple. You're just going to put your pin, put this camera back so you can see. Now you're just going to go back in reverse. You're going to put your pin in here. Like so. Alright, so there we go. Pin's back in. Charge handle's on. So, not a bad deal. Now we're going to get into switching out the mag release here on the trigger assembly. So give me a few seconds to get all this stuff set aside and get set up for that. Okay, our next little task here is going to be putting this nice new extended mag release in there. So I guess first thing to do, so we don't have to contend with hands being full, is to rip into this bad boy and get it out the box. There we go. Nice. This bitch almost looks green. It's supposed to be black, but anyways, there it is. Now your key, it is green. It's OD green. Great. Anyways, your next little step that you got here is you've got a pin right here. This is your pin that holds your factory mag release, and it also holds your blah 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 breech lock, I guess is what we're gonna call it. So what I've been told is when you take this pin, you push this pin out, leave this guy in here, drag it back to where it holds your breech lock open, pull your piece out, put your new one in. So we're gonna put this in here, push that pin out. Very simple. Pin just pushed right out. We're gonna drag this guy back through. Oh yeah, I'm supposed to be holding pressure here. That's why it wouldn't just fall out. Anyways, we're just gonna drop this piece back out. Now slowly I'm gonna let this plunger down. Here's our spring. I really don't want this trigger mechanism to fall over. Push our plunger back down. Put our new green handle that I thought was supposed to be black in here. Like so. And then take our pin from the opposite side, slide our pin in, just like that. And there it is. Done. Super duper, super, super, super easy procedure there. So, that's done. This guy, he's junk, plastic, junk ass parts. So, now we're gonna take, man, I wished I had a new trigger assembly, seeing as how I'm in here doing this. We're gonna take this trigger assembly, set it back in the gun where it belongs. Right there. We're gonna put our 2 pins back in right here. There we go. There's that pin. Kind of push it in flush. It just needed to have some wiggle put into it. There we go. And that's all back together. So, like I said in the beginning of this video when I started tearing this gun down, I showed y'all a week, maybe 2 weeks ago, the put together of this gun. So I'm just gonna go ahead and turn the camera off, do a complete reassemble, and then we'll move on to putting the compensator and the light on. This was the chicken fish cheesy ass light mount that they had, scope ring converted over, making it into a light mount, and it was junk. Screws were too long in it, so on and so forth. It wouldn't tighten up very good. So I had this other mount. I'm not even sure where it came from because I have a mount on my AR as well, and I only have one good light, so I'm not real sure where it came from, but it came from somewhere. So anyways, I made it work and it's on there. And the very last thing, put this on something level. All right, the very last thing we have to put on this gun, and we can wrap this video up. I have no clue where we're at time-wise, but the very last thing is going to be this compensator. So I've already had it on the gun, so hopefully it'll slide on there fairly easy. There we go, compensator mounted. It just slides over around the sights on this 1022 and boom, it's done. That pretty much wraps it there. That's everything other than I gotta put my scope back on. I was kind of pissy that I had to take scope off because I didn't want to have to re-sight this gun in, but we got a compensator, we got a new light. Sorry guys, I was thinking about something here. Mag release in OD green. And then when we flip the gun over, we got our new extended charge handle. So everything's copacetic. Give me a second. All right, guys. Well, that pretty much wraps it up right there. The little, what do they call it? GR22, I think is the name of it. That Gunter 1022. It's all back together. Like we said, we got the new mag release, got new charge handle, new light, and a compensator out on the end there. So, man, I appreciate it, guys. I don't know if y'all like this or the fishing videos or what y'all like, but give me a like, give me a comment, give me a subscribe, give me all that kind of good stuff, and let me know what y'all thought about this video. All right, I'll holler at y'all later. Thanks for watching.
I'm a whiskey drinking SOB. If you don't like that, then you won't like me. I'm an outlaw.